Hello, my name's Hook Herrera, and I want to thank Jonel Romero and the Red Nation Film Awards for honoring me with an invitation to be part of this celebration in the advancement of the arts and the film industry for us. And let me say that I'm a California boy. My mother comes from Tarahumara line, down from the northern part of Mexico, from the Barrancas de Cobre, where la noche es la día de la luna, where the night is the day of the moon. And Tarahumaras are really incredible people. And I got a lot of things from my heritage that I didn't even know I had, that my grandfather pointed out to me in the garden as we spent time out there. I kind of grew up a lot with my grandfather, and he could really tell a tale. And he really passed on a lot of things about myself that I didn't even know that were attributed to our bloodline. Running, for one. I ran ever since I was a kid. I didn't even know why. I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran. My parents would go across town and they'd say, we're going to Grandma's house, and I'd say, I'd run and meet them there. Anyways, lots of other things. I had a bad temper when I was a kid, and I guess I might still have a piece of that. But my grandfather used to rub my stomach, and he'd tell me, no dejes que te chingan los europeanos. He said, don't let the Europeans get you, because that's your Indian spirit inside fighting. And you have to stand up and fight. And he told me that, I come from a family of 7 kids, but I look the most like this. And he would always tell me, it was all on me, because nobody else looked like me, and nobody else was going to take what I was going to take. And he was right. Ever since I was a kid, even today, how many times do the police call you Cochise or Chief or Hiawatha, or, it just never ends. And of course, the color of my skin, and being in California, I would get so dark, and playing on the asphalt, you would get even darker. And my grandpa explained a little bit of that to me. He said, we're like chameleons. We're good hunters that way, and we survive that way because we change with our surroundings. In the wintertime, you'll get gray. And now I live in Sweden, and guess what? I get a little gray. And so I learned a lot about that from him. And on the other side, on my father's side, we're Olone, which is a California tribe. But my father was a real self-hater. He never wanted to never even wanted us to know. And if it wasn't for society throwing rocks at me all my life, I probably would have never known, because both of my parents were kind of beat into submission by society and wanting to be. And my father was a little more violent about it. If I went outside with a headband or whatever, he would say, isn't it bad enough they know we're Mexican? Do you have to tell them we're Indian too? And so very early on, just out of pure rebellion, I started finding out what the score was, and where I belonged, and why I felt the way I felt, and why I felt things the way I felt things. And later on in my life, starting early, that all connected with the blues. And I play blues. I played blues all my life, and I got the name Hook from John Lee Hooker, so I'm keeping it. And whenever I would go play with those old guys, they would always, every one of them, every one of them would say, I'm Indian too. And that'd be like the first thing out of their mouth, and we would connect. And it was a safe place for me, the blues. you know, because there was respect for your elders, and there were elders, and there was a code of hard work, and there was a connection of blood, and it's always been a home to me. So sad that they're basically all gone now, but I will always be so ever so grateful that I got to come up in that community and be a part of that community, you know. Not because I was a great player, but because I loved those guys. And they taught me how to, you know, how to love myself and why I felt the way I felt. Because we all felt the same way. We were all going against the same tide. And so I carry that on, and later on in life, I made some really good connections, and one of them was meeting up with John Trudell, you know, and later on Quilt, man, and of course Babalu and Mark Shark and those guys, and just really, you know, putting life into perspective of where our art comes from and why, and things like that, and things that have really helped me get to where I am, being who I am. And I have Janelle to thank for a huge part of that also, because I've known Janelle as long as I've been sober. And this year that's gonna be 31 years, December the 19th. And she's been a huge part of my life. And she's always, you know, just been Jonelle, you know. She's stand up, straight up, right there in the face, and that's the way I understand, and that's the way I relate, and that's the way I appreciate someone's honesty being right out front, and making that connection and carrying it on through sobriety has really helped me be of service to a lot of cats, and also to really be able to reach out to some friends of mine on, you know, that grew up on the res. I'm not from the res. I didn't grow up on the res. I have nothing but respect for the res. You know, I didn't know that life. I grew up in East San Jose, which was, it ain't the res, but it ain't, you know, it ain't no Sunday school. But it helps to be of service, and it keeps me centered. And sobriety has been a huge part of that, and still is. And lately, I've been connecting a lot with Quilt Man and Mark, and we're starting to try and put out some cool shit. And so what I'm going to do for you today is play along with my pre-recorded stuff, and I'll play along and sing along with it, and then and maybe if I have some time, get a little bit of blues in there. Okay, and this first one doesn't have a name yet. We've called it Redskin, just because we're funny like that. But it kind of talks about looking at the people, the way they look at us, and telling them, hey man, where you coming from? Well, you know, why you gotta be like that? And so here we go. Never know where I stand with you. I never know if you're red or you're white or you're blue. You make me crazy, then you call me insane. Every day you're changing the rules of the game. How am I supposed to keep my mind? Being killed and poisoned all the time. You don't know what rage is, but I sure do. I can feel your shoe on the back of my neck. Can you hear our children screaming and crying? You say you do, but your smile says you're lying. Greed kills the land, the sky, and the sea. The water we protect is for you and for me. You wanna kill me for the color of my skin, but you will never reach our spirit deep within. 1,000 years is the blink of an eye, and every day is a good day to die. 1,000 years is just the blink of an eye, and every day is a good day to die. I never know where I stand with you. I never know if you're red or you're white or you're blue. You make me crazy and then you call me insane. Every day you're changing the rules of the game. How am I supposed to keep my mind being killed and poisoned all the time? You don't know what rage is, but I sure do. On the back of my neck is the bottom of your shoe. Get a little sage burning so I can send this up as a prayer to everybody over there through the air. Because I care. That sage, homegrown. Homegrown and hand rolled. This one, I don't know if I'm going to call it burning my sage or sacred is sacred, or I'm not really sure yet. river run dry, and a dusty old well, poison in the ground, turning heaven into hell. Searching and searching, all the fish in the sea. Father, out we go, oh, you and me. Far, yeah, as I can see. They're digging on our land and they're cutting down all our trees. Once we were free and now we're hunted again. Can't even walk through your town. Sacred is sacred. That seems like a curse to you. Sacred is sacred. It goes against all you do. You're doing us wrong and you don't stop. You believe in something that simply is not. But we will survive because that's who we are. And that's what we do. Gonna burn my sage and send my prayer. Gonna burn my sage and send my prayer. Burn my sage and send my prayer. Gonna burn my sage and send my prayer. A dusty old well and a river runs dry, trying to protect the water. That's why. Well, I'm just going to throw down on a little bit of E for you. I hope you enjoy it. And thank you for having me. And thank you for being there. And thank you for taking this cause where it needs to be taken to. And congratulations to everybody that's involved in this beautiful effort, and all the artists and all the talent and all the workers and all the worker bees and everybody who put something into this, and everybody who's watching. Thank you so much, everybody.